Hi everyone, it's Jen from Simple Local Life, and I'm back here at Wells Lake Farm Market, back with my friend Adrien. How are you this morning, Adrien?
Very good.
Good. So it's, what are we, third week of July, and you know, things are moving along here at the market. I see lots of cars in and out every day. So how are things going here?
Things are going really well.
Good.
Yeah, the little bit of sun and nicer weather we've been having over the last couple of weeks has really been good for us and for everyone in the gardening world.
It has been. It's been a bit of a reprieve and getting some warmth. Of course, lots of humidity still. That kind of seems what summers are like now in Nova Scotia, but some sun, which our gardens really needed. Still a little bit of showers and rain too, which they always need. So I know you guys up here in the greenhouse, you can see behind us, it's just looking beautiful still. And you know, I still am planting. Last night I was actually putting in a few daylilies and things. So what do you guys, what can you say for people who are still looking or still thinking gardening season is never over in my world? What about up here?
Absolutely, and I said it a few weeks ago and kind of say the same thing again, that we have a lot of the gardening season ahead of us.
Yeah.
And you know, what we've had up until now really has been, there's been a lot of problems with the rain and the cool weather and all that. So we've had a few good weeks of growing, but the best growing weather of the season really is ahead of us.
It is.
Our falls are really nice, well into October.
Yeah.
And there's so many things that, you know, we do a lot of our planting in the spring, but we really are reaping the rewards later in the year, especially for vegetable gardening and that sort of thing. But we do have all kinds of things that you can plant right now that you will get to enjoy for the rest of the season. So, for example, I'm holding a little creeping sedum here.
Beautiful sedum.
And you know, the sedums, they really do their show in the fall. You know, end of August, September. So things like this is a perennial.
Yes.
You can plant this right now, and you haven't really missed out on a lot of this plant for this year. You're going to get the benefits in the fall. So this is just one example. This is called a dazzleberry creeping sedum. It will have nice, beautiful pinkish red kind of flowers, and will hang on for a long time.
Now I'm thinking about what I could plant tonight when I get home. This is beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. So this is one example of a perennial that, and you know, you get the rest of this year, but you also get next year and all the subsequent years behind that. So.
And really, once the soil is warmed up, like our soil is warm now, so you know, once the soil's warmed up, it's really a perfect time to kind of get some plants in there, and especially with that wet spring we had in early summer. You know, people just didn't, I still feel like people kind of felt like they missed the peak gardening season, or are still feeling like they're behind or didn't get everything done, but still lots of time.
Absolutely. Yeah, and there was one other thing I just wanted to point out.
Beautiful.
This one's going to be a little harder to pick up. But,
beautiful.
But this is a rubrum, or a purple fountain grass,
I love
the common name. And we'll stand back so you can see the full effect. we planted these a while ago, but these are really, again, later summer into the fall. You really get the full effect. They'll have nice plumes on them in the weeks ahead. So we have all kinds of things like that: planters, hanging baskets, just all kinds of, you know, custom planters that we put together of different things we have. And you'll really be able to, you know, get the color, fill the space, and enjoy it for the rest of the season.
And enjoy it. And I know some people too feel like their planters kind of suffered a bit with everything. You can get them back to life, but for some people I feel like maybe they're just looking for a fresh start, and you can see behind all the beautiful planters and hanging baskets that are still here and ready to make their way to make your property or deck or porch or cottage look beautiful too. Anything else, Adrien?
Yeah, just again want to make sure everyone knows that we have lots of plants left. You can kind of see behind me this way and that way. Lots of color and very full, and we've been working really hard to keep everything in great shape. We have this protected structure here, so sometimes people come in and they're a bit surprised that we haven't been able to get everything to this point, but the protected structure, we really focus on having a lot of air movement, and then also the folks we have working here are very passionate and knowledgeable about plants, so that really helps to keep them in good shape, because we work on them every day and just make sure they're at their best.
Yeah, it's a great time to come up and take a visit to the greenhouse and just walk around and see, and I guarantee you'll find something up here that you want to take home. And I know we're fresh into produce season as well, lots of fresh produce arriving daily. What's the latest down there at the market?
Well, I do want to say that strawberries are still hanging in there. We've been getting strawberries from the valley the last couple days, and they're really looking good. And they're very flavorful.
Nice.
Raspberries have been, you know, kind of here and there, the days when it's nice weather, we get raspberries, and they've been really good when we can get them.
Nice.
But probably the most popular thing right now are the hodgepodge kits.
Yes.
So green beans, yellow beans, our fresh carrots, peas, potatoes,
yeah.
all those things.
The cream and butter, all that good stuff.
That's right, and it's been coming from the valley, a lot of it, and it is absolutely in excellent shape, despite the season we've been having. Farmers are having some challenges, but the produce that's landing here at our door has been excellent. Good,
and the weekend's coming up again, and a nice pot of hodgepodge is always a nice summer treat, especially in July. So we're thinking you might have beans and everything ready for the weekend, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, and there was one other thing. Just as we're talking about beans, baking beans is something we've been out of for the last week or so.
Okay.
There's been it's been really hard to find baking beans.
Bean shortage? Uh-oh.
Yeah, there has been a bean shortage, and unfortunately, I think there will continue to be a bean shortage. However, we've bought enough baking beans to get us through for the rest of the year.
Okay.
They will be here this week. So we've been out for just over a week.
Okay.
People have been starting to ask us, what's going on with your beans? But they will be back this weekend, and we will have baking beans for the remainder of the season. And unfortunately, for a lot of folks, it may be hard to find beans at the store if you're trying to make them at home. But we will have beans for the season.
Get them right here at Wells Lake Farm Market. Thank you so much, Adrien. This was
Thank
great.
you.
Come on up and visit the market and the greenhouse anytime. Thanks again.
Thank you.
So I'm back here with my friend Elspeth. How are you today, Elspeth?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
So what should we be thinking about this time of year, Elspeth? Third week of July. The gardens are coming along. Some things look like they might need a little help. What can we be looking at and thinking
Well,
about?
I thought today we could talk a little bit about perennials.
Okay.
Because many people think the perennials are finished, and in many cases, perennials will rebloom if they're pruned back.
Yes.
So this one, this is a really good example, because this is a very popular plant. This is Russian sage, and when the flowers start to get, start to look brown or faded, then just snip out the stem. Like that, and back to a new set of leaves. It's like pruning your regular annuals, which we've talked about many times. And what will happen as the summer progresses, you'll get a new shoot coming up, and you'll probably get a bloom again. Now, you might not get as many blooms, but you certainly will. On Russian sage, you will get more blooms. So it's one of the ones that keeps blooming for the season. The other thing is, with Russian sage, it can get really tall and a bit ratty looking. And if we get rain like we've been getting this summer, it'll get flattened. So keeping it tidy is a good way to keep it looking good
fresh,
in your garden rather than getting flattened. So Russian sage is one. The other one I wanted to, although this is a lily that just came into bloom, but there are many lilies that are rebloomers.
Yes.
So I can't name all the ones. In fact, I probably don't even know all the ones.
No, I'm assuming that's a long list.
Yes, it is a long list. But if you have lilies, it's worth trimming back the flower once it fades and starts to drop, to cut it off. And then the foliage still looks good in your garden. So rather than have a dead looking stem, just trim it back. And if you've got a rebloomer, then it's going to rebloom.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Good idea. Lots of lilies coming into bloom right now.
Right. And the third one I wanted to show is a great plant. This is scabiosa. And I know that maybe people aren't as familiar with this, but I think this is something everybody should have in the garden, because it blooms all summer.
Oh, love that.
And it will get to look, again, you'll get, some dead blooms like that on it. But just trim it back. Easily trim it back. And you keep the foliage nice and mounded looking. And you've got these nice new stems. And you can see right here, we've got nice new little buds coming on. And so I'm just going to keep trimming away at this. Hopefully it's going to sell. I think this is the only one that's left. So if you want it, come get it.
It's here. Looking good.
It's looking good. So this is just a little tip to, keep your perennials tidied up. I wouldn't cut them. Well, I did cut my bleeding heart right back because it's starting to die back. And there are some things that you may want to, if they start to get kind of yellowy leaves and dead at the bottom, then I would prune those back. Like bleeding heart's a great example. Peonies, I would deadhead them, like remove where the flower has been and leave the foliage, because they look like a small shrub.
They do.
And they give beautiful color in the garden for the whole summer. So I wouldn't cut them back. And just tidy up your perennials.
So good time to do that. Good tip, Elspeth, because I think you're right. A lot of us, well, we've been talking about our annuals and getting those hanging baskets and your planters looking good, but you're right. The perennials that have bloomed or are finishing blooming, but still some of them keep blooming, and you want them to look nice in your garden bed anyway.
Well, I think looking tidy is good.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Elspeth. Lots to do here at Wells Lake Farm Market. Lots to do in our gardens. Open every day 9 to 6, except Fridays now open until 7. Thanks, Elspeth.
See ya.